if you want a little bulwark, or I have some tuning forks here that are Melissa's absolute favorite. I even got a rattle.
So much noise.
I know.
So much noise.
It's so much fun. And I got my Huchapichairumis, which is heavy sweeping stones, which is one of the basic shamanic tools from the Paco Kuna tradition of Peru. And you can find out about a lot of opportunities with that coming up through Goddess Elite. So check that out.
Yeah, so if you guys would like a quick card pull or energy healing, go ahead and put your name in the comments.
And you have to put your name and which deck you want. We have the Runic Tarot. This is an animal oracle deck. We have the Grand Lux Tarot. We have the Andean Oracle deck, which is like probably my favorite Oracle deck. We have the Magical Correspondence Tarot, and we have the Angel Tarot. And most of these are available at Goddess Elite.
Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, and this one too, Visions of the Soul. This is my newest one that I got from Melissa. They're awesome. Soul Star Chakra. So everybody, today's whole energy is about connecting with your unique soul star that inspires you to be the you you came to be.
Hello, everybody. I see a lot of hellos, so feel free to drop your name if you would like Steve would like the Angel Tarot.
Angel Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Steve. Hatan Uma to the higher self of Steve. Omply, omply, omply. Bring your healing here. Right. I usually do 2 cards. So it's like the 2 energies showing up that are having a friction in your experience right now that stop the full actualization of the soul. So we have the first card.
Hi, Ashley. Let us know what deck you'd like. Any of the decks on the table.
Which is the 2 of Pentacles. Now, the angel is Poil, and I'll show it. Hopefully you can zoom in or whatnot. But the actual tarot card is the 2 of Pentacles. So this is the effort to try to figure out what's going on, But the thing is, you cannot figure out a problem from the same level of the problem. You have to rise above it. No matter what side of the dogma you're fighting, you're in the dogma. So you have to take a step back and really think, what is the raw data of the situation? What do I really feel about it? What do I know about it on the level of the soul? And King of Pentacles, which is the will of the soul, it's like there's a resistance for you being you from other people's projections about who they think you should be, and more aligning with that than your actual knowing on the path. So the whole thing for you is to stop trying to figure things out and really get in touch within instead of without. Because if you don't go in, you go without. And I'll leave that with you.
All right. So Ashley would also like the Angel Tarot.
Ooh, Angel Tarot is very popular.
And you guys can also pick, instead of a reading, you can get a energy balancing.
Yeah. Now, the cool thing with this deck, if you want to pick one up for Melissa, just a shameless shout out for it. It goes in the book over how everybody has 3 angels assigned at birth. One is one for morality, one is a physical guardian, one is a soul guardian. That's based on the time and the day that you're born. And so you can use the book to figure out your unique guardian angels, or that's a type of reading that I would offer through the store as well if you wanted to get a reading like that.
Did you want to get the Runic Tarot instead of the Angel Tarot?
I thought you said Angel Tarot.
I'm asking her.
Oh.
She says the Runic Tarot looks pretty interesting too. So I was asking if she wanted to switch.
It is up to you.
Which
or
decks?
You know what? I could do 1 card from each. Should we do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, and Steve said his reading resonates.
Okay, so it's going to be the top 2 cards. So from the Angel Tarot, we have Metatron. Now, Metatron is the energy, it's the Wheel of Fortune. So, like, you are somebody who is a really good, you probably are a natural shaman in a way. You allow the universal energies to move through you, because Metatron at the top of the Tree of Life, he is the one that is responsible for regulating all the universal energies. But it's really hard for people with this much possibility to figure out what they want to do, because you literally could almost do anything. So like it's really starting to ask the question, like, what would be the most fun for me? And the thing you want to go with, 9 of Cups, you need to really feel things out and actually start choosing something. So it might be, 9s are always about like pulling that bow and arrow back and having to do that final thing to actually let go and actually take an action to start the process of manifestation and actualization. I resonate with this a lot for myself, because you have all this possible potential, but I don't know what to do with it. So it's about starting to choose, gather data, and see what really makes you light up in terms of the passion of the soul. And I'll leave that with you. I have to put them in the right order. Here we go.
Right.
Who's next?
I'm still waiting for some more names to come up.
Ooh, more names. You can also do energy work if you would rather have that. A little balancing.
Yeah, he is kind of dressed up for St. Patrick's Day.
I know, because I'm not going to be here on St. Patrick's Day. And I have crazy pants to go with this, but I don't think I could pull those off on a day other than St. Patrick's Day. But I'll send Melissa.
Sure, Catherine, but which deck would you like?
Yep.
you can pick any of the ones that you can see on the table. We have the Runic deck, the Grand Lux Tarot, the Andean deck, the Angel Tarot, and Spirit of the Animals
Oracle, and the Andean Oracle, which is the closest thing to the tradition that me and Melissa practice from Peru, the Pakokuna tradition, or the Qatari tradition of cross-cultural shamanism.
She would like the Grand Lux.
Grand Lux, very good. And her name is, again?
Let me scroll back up here.
Because I forgot to do this.
Catherine.
Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine.
All right, and you'll be next, Gina.
Okay, just do a quick shuffle. 2 cards with the 2 energies causing the friction or that need to be addressed to help the actualization of the soul.
And then after that, Lynn, energy clearing. Yes.
Okay, so we have 2 things. One, we have the Lover's card, and we have all 6s in tarot are love. And this is about being a person of valor. And Lovers is possibly, it's one of 2 things. And I feel more of the esoteric thing. It's about choosing, would you like to live the life of the householder? Or, just live life for the purpose of living life? Or do you want to walk the path of an initiate and really look to take a deep dive into like more esoteric traditions like shamanism or sansei or maybe a northern tradition, and really following the path of the inner work versus just being in the world, like Alistair would call the householder. And part of that is to hold being a service above all else, recognizing that you're in here to help walk each other home. And it's really about love for humanity at that point, and not to get distracted with the relationships, because relationships is an awareness of duality and of separation, where creationship is recognizing that we're all one in the collective of humanity. So I feel that this is really about being a service and really making the choice of how you can walk your path and be a service to your fellow travelers. And I'll leave that with you.
All right, Danny. Sure, I can put your name down. I just need you to pick which deck you would like. In the meantime, Chenna, I hope I say your name right. I would like the Angel.
Angel. Chenna.
Aaron, the deck has the crow.
And when I say that, I'm calling on the higher self of you to kind of inspire the cards as I shuffle to bring up the 2 cards that are most relevant for the soul actualizing. Here's the first one. We got 10 of Swords. This one is, the normal picture is the person on their back with the 10 swords along the spine. It's literally, stick a fork in me, I'm done. It's about letting go of the things that you have around you that are just fillers that really have no purpose in serving who you came to be. And the energy to go along with that is justice. So it's, in order to do that, it's really important to start letting things go, to let go of the idea about fairness, because the only way that there can be fairness or not fairness is if we have a judgment about how something shows up. So it's really about being an allowance of reality, a surrender in reality as it is, and then from that point, what can I be or do to actually start walking the path of the soul? And I'll leave that with you.
All right, next is Lynn, with like an energy healing. And Hank, what's the name of the deck, the small deck right between the Andean and Angel?
This one?
Yeah.
The Magical Correspondence Tarot.
Okay.
That's like a private print deck from Sweden, which is...
And somebody has requested that one, but I couldn't see it through the screen. But Lynn and energy clearing.
Okay. Iari hatan umalin ompui ia vulka nuna cheska muhukoya kuchikatari. Which means first ray from your soul star, illuminate the seed within, allow rise to your unique voice in this world. And I'm just going to chant Kanchai 1 time, bringing in the light from the upper world, pushing anything dense, heavy, or stagnant down out of your body, out of your being, and deep into the earth to be fertilizer for blessings the earth will cultivate for your life. On the count of 3, I'll chant Kanchai. 1, 2, 3. Kanchai. Hucha, yaksi, mu yaksi pui. There we go. I'll leave that with you.
All right, and Vanessa requested the Runic deck.
Runic deck.
All right, we'll add your name, Tammy.
Get a little bit buzzy after that. Maybe it's the hat. What's the name on this one again? I'm sorry.
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Vanessa.
Thank you for all the likes and shares, guys. It really helps new friends find us.
And for those of you watching on Goddess Elite, we're live on my TikTok as well. I'm Sonic Shaman 528 or Sonic Shaman on TikTok, 528 on Instagram if you want to follow me. So Queen of Swords is the first card, and all queens represent thoughts. And the Queen of Swords specifically, it means that you might be a professional head tripper. You might have an awareness, you might have something show up, and it's a lot of stuff happening here. And it's like, take whatever's going on and let your consciousness roll down to the heart and really start from the space of the heart in your place of Moon Knight, which is a combination of your will and love. Start navigating your world instead of being in the headspace, because the headspace is just, yeah. And there is also an issue. Part of that thought process, Seven of Swords, is, for me, perfectionism. There might be the idea that in order for something to be worthwhile, you have to have it picture perfect. And a good mantra for you is to practice progress, not perfection. Because if you wait to start something until it's perfect, you'll never start. And so wherever you think you are, if there's something that you want to start, recognize that maybe it's going to even be greater if you go ahead and start it, even if it's not 100% perfect or you don't have all your ducks in a row, and see what happens and how more quickly it can create. But you got to do it by dropping into the heart space, and that's where you're going to really navigate with the GPS of the soul. And I'll leave that with you.
All right, so Danny is next. She would like the Spirit of Animals. And while you're shuffling, Ricky, the deck choices are the Runic Tarot, Spirit of the Animals, Grand Lux Tarot, the Andean Oracle, the Tarot of Magical Correspondences, and the Angel Tarot. Now keep in mind that Angel Tarot is not like your fluffy white, everything is grand and happy and pretty of the old Doreen Virtue decks. This is more of the higher magic, magical correspondences.
And this is a straight up tarot deck. Each angel is assigned to one of the tarot cards. And then there's correlations between the angels and the Sephiroth of the Tree of Life. It gets more complicated than that, but it's a really cool deck. What was the name of this person again?
Danny.
Danny. Hatanuma Danny.
You're welcome, Vanessa. We're going to try and do this on Thursdays, guys, on both channels, as well as YouTube's and the Goddess Elite Twitch.
I'm so happy about the turtle because it's one of my personal totems as well. In the Peruvian tradition, you have 7 spirits. The first are your animals, the first one's a reptile, and turtle is mine. And let me read it to you. Sea turtle is protection.
Yes, Sandy, let me know which deck you want.
You are master of finding life's flow. Be in the flow, not the no. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Preserve and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. And part of that is too, like when you are stepping into like 4th level, like in the Anu tradition, there's the ultimate style of priesthood. It's a 4th level. It's the idea that God is within all things. And from that place, no matter what shows up, if you recognize it as it's something that has medicine for the soul, do you need protection or do you need to shift yourself in order to receive what shows up in a way that's going to be nurturing for the soul? So protection is like only needed when you're in a fire and you need to get out. You protect yourself by putting a blanket around you. That's a tool, a wet blanket around you to get out. But once you're out of the building, you don't wear the tool forever. So protection itself, when there's an actual immediate threat, when you're blindsided. But other than that, it's about shifting your point of view that you can receive everything and find the medicine, the nectar in it, just like the hummingbird. And I'll leave that with you.
All right, all of our new friends joining in on the TikTok, thank you for the likes and the shares. It really helps us get to new friends. And if you would like a card pull, drop your name and which deck you would like.
Yeah.
So next we have Erin, and she requested the Magical Correspondence.
Yes, that's actually one of my favorite decks because it has the Sephiroth on it for the Tree of Life. And I'm here at the store every Thursday, and soon, I think within the next 2 weeks, I'll be here the entire day because I'm going to be well, anyway, you don't need to know the whys behind it, but I'll be here all days and Thursdays, and I'm available out of my office in Westlake all the other days. And I'm going to get Melissa a link that if you go to her site, there'll be one that goes right to my website for a link to book that you're a Goddess Elite referral because you'll get a little bit of a discount for my normal office rate that I charge for people who just find me randomly. So I appreciate y'all being here. 2 cards, and her name for this one again?
Erin.
Erin. Iari hatan uma Erin. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Ooh, it's one of these. It's this one. It's one of them. Oh, it's the second time we get the 2 of coins again, which is the guy trying to juggle. And like when he thinks he has one thing figured out, then another thing's up in the air. And no matter what you do, it feels like I just can't get everything to line up. And that's because it's hard to solve a problem from the level of a problem. You have to rise above it. And the part that is holding you back from doing that is really Queen of Swords again. This seems to be a second time, not I think this exact combination, but the Queen of Swords is all about head tripping. So it's really getting out of the data that you're getting from a situation through your filters. If you're looking at the world through sunglasses and everything's dimmed and tinted, you're not getting the full richness and color of divinity. So it's about going with the inner vision and not going through the filters that you are receiving through and the filters that the people are projecting from, and what is the raw data of what you know about this, and using your intuition. And if you don't know, if you're local and you need to develop intuition, Melissa has a divination meetup once a month. She has an intuition development circle, mediumship development circle once a month. There's a lot of tools where you can start dipping your toe and starting to use that muscle to really use your intuition to navigate the world. And I will leave that with you.
All right. Tammy is next, and she requested energy healing.
Energy healing, Tammy.
That is also an option, guys. You can just get an energy healing instead of a card pull.
This is the energy of Metatron, which is the regulator of all the energies in the universe. Sandalphon. And these are the two angels that actually were on Earth. So they're the best ones to help connect you to your guides, angels, and teachers, because the thing that's mostly coming through for me to tell you is you're not in this alone. You have a lot of resources, and it just takes a matter of asking, because it's like the prime directive. Unless you ask, you cannot receive, or they can't help you. To your guides, angels, and teachers, bring your healing here. Allow yourself to have the vision in order to connect to them and walk hand in hand with the spirits of the universe to have inspirations, knowings, and guidance on choosing the things that are going to make you experience yourself at the highest octave possible what the soul came to experience. And also bringing in Cater. And I'm going to chant Moonlight one time to open up the heart center. Moonlight. Yeah, impi hatan sumaksunko ompui. First ray from the sun illuminate the great and beautiful heart. And when you feel overwhelmed as an empath, hand it off to your spirit people. Let them deal with it, because it feels like you're an empath on steroids, and it's the judgment of the data that really sticks you. It's more about handing it off and recognizing it just as an intuition, and don't own it by judging it. Everything is just interesting, and I'll leave that with you.
All right. Sandy.
Sandy?
Spirit of animals.
Spirit of animals for Sandy. Very good. That's one thing, it's a flipper, you got it. The swan, you must be the space of grace. And it says for you, who glides across the waters of my soul, bring your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And one of my teachers from Lilydale, Tom Kratzley, said that grace was the ability to make all mistakes or all problems just temporary. They're not permanent. It's the willingness to recognize that this too shall pass, and recognizing that everything changes and there's only progression towards the light as we walk each other home. And when we know that we're all on the same path in a way, you have a little bit more space of grace for your fellow travelers. So I will leave that with you.
All right. Ricky would like Angel.
Angel. I love Lucy. Ricky Ricardo stuck in my head. Okay, Ricky. Hatan uma Ricky. Ompui. First one is 10 of Wands. It is time for you to actually bring into actualization the dreams and aspirations and passion of the soul. You've been doing the ego thing. It's time to do the spirit thing. At least you might be doing the ego thing more full-time than you are the spirit thing. But there's a lot going on. But it's really time, but what would you like your service and contribution to be to the world that would also nurture the soul. And the other one that goes with that, the thing that you need to do, we have the 901. So it's about having these big visions, pulling the bow and arrow back, and then not letting go. Not letting go. It's my favorite analogy for that. So that's the main problem. There's maybe a lot of vision, a lot of inspiration, a lot of maybe planning and knowing what you should do and what you could be doing, but you don't actually do it. So it's time to, or get off the pot. I don't know if we can swear on these things. Can we swear on these things?
Not on certain ones.
It's time to have spiritual human in transition. You can put the acronym together, folks, and do that or get off the pot. Because the creation will not be complete without you and the gift that you have to the world. So start letting your arrows fly and trust the universe that when they land, it's going to be a service to your fellow travelers and for humanity. And I will leave that with you.
All right, keep that deck out. The next two people want the same. Nicole is next for the angel.
Nicole.
And while he's shuffling, all of our new friends coming in,
Nicole.
you can get 1 or 2 card reading. You let us know what deck you would like to use, or you can get an energy cleaning.
Mhm.
Decks available: Runic Tarot, Spirit of the Animals, Grand Lux, the Indian Oracles, Magical Correspondence Tarot, or the Angel Tarot.
These are both, and I keep forgetting with the angel one. I should tell you guys the angels. But you have Poil, which is the god who supports the universe, and you have Kahetil, which is the adored god. And this is the Ace of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles. So this is a lot of heaviness. And all the court cards in the Ace is the divine feminine. And when we have the Ace of Pentacles, it's like there's so much heaviness that just stops or makes it really hard to get that initial inertia. It's so important if you feel like you can't do something to act opposite and go do it anyway. When I was in IOP for alcohol abuse and everything, that's what they said. You need to act opposite. When you feel depressed and you feel like you can't get started, act opposite. Even getting up out of bed and just making your bed. That's like getting one thing accomplished, and it starts the day where you feel the sense of accomplishment, and then keep the ball rolling and grow on that. So start. And it may be a problem starting because we got the 2 of Pentacles. Third time this has come up today,
Okay.
which is all getting stuck up in the trying to figure things out. And sometimes the data that you really need to figure things out is the data you get for making a choice. So once you make a choice, you get more data. You make another choice, you get more data. You make another choice, you get more data. You keep the process going while asking 2 questions, which is good discernment. Do I prefer this, yes or no? No more judgment with it. If no, what can I do to create what I prefer? And does this serve the soul? Those are the only 2 questions, the only true discernment judgment that you need. When you start saying, is this right? Is this fair? Is this out of fear? Like when you start adding polarity to it, you actually encrust the very thing that you're looking to change. So one example, do I love my job? No. And it sucks, and my boss is a jerk, and they don't give me enough vacation time. And there's all this polarity adding on to the fact you don't like your job, and it actually anchors it. Or you could just say, do I prefer the job? No. What would it take to create something different? And then you go off and running. You're not empowering it anymore. So I will leave that with you, but start today. If not you, who? If not now, when?
So on Facebook, I have a request for the Indian Oracle, or Andean. It should be Andean. Let me know what your name is, because it's just showing me Facebook user. It's not giving me your name.
Facebook user.
Yeah. But next, Angel is Jenny.
Okay, we'll do that one because I want the name, because that's part of my thing. Jenny. Jenny. Okay. I think we need an actual shuffle. Just once. That was a terrible shuffle. Why do they make tarot decks so long? Anyway. 2 cards with the energy of the day. So we have the King of Pentacles, which is the will of the soul encumbered by projections. And this is, I'm going to mispronounce the name, Lelahel, Lelahel, and it is the praiseworthy God. So one thing is, what would it take for you to start receiving praise? Especially since we have that with being the King of Pentacles, people might have put so much on you with negative that now it's like hard to receive anything from anyone. So receiving praise might be really hard for you. And the best place to start is start praising yourself. Start actually celebrating even the small things that you could look at as a positive in your life, or find a way to make a negative positive. You know, it's very important for being able to start receiving praise and then building on that and celebrating the little things that could lead to bigger and bigger things. Because if you can't receive the penny on the floor, how are you going to receive the winning lottery ticket? So learning to receive is a huge thing, and twist people's projections into medicine for the soul. And the other part of that is the Page of Swords. It's about taking the action. The only way to get out of that mess is to start taking action to start to shift it. My favorite mantra when I was getting sober is self-pity and gratitude cannot coexist. And taking anytime you have this position of negativity, switching that, because negativity, that's the only true Satan, seeing anything as negative, hashtag Hank's an acronym nerd, and starting to shift those negative things into gratitude and into praise and celebrating you and your walk with the universe. And I will leave that with you.
All right, Nanette on TikTok. Let me know what deck you might like.
And did we get the Andean person's name?
Yeah, but before the Andean, we had the one last Rebecca for the Angel.
Okay.
And then Ray with the Andean deck.
Okay. Rebecca. Rebecca.
Thanks for stopping, Sandy.
Yeah. And please follow me on TikTok too, guys. Sonic Shaman on TikTok, where I'm also Sonic Shaman on YouTube and Facebook, or you can look me up, Hank Settlelove, for my personal profile and follow me there.
Well, if you're on Hank's TikTok, go join the stores.
Oh, yes. Go the other way, too. Goddess Elite.
We're going back and forth here.
Yes. We're on both places because Melissa and I have collaborated for, God, a long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So we have, again, Ten of Swords, the second time this has come up today. This is Aniel, Aniel, the God and Lord of all virtues. And at the bottom says, breaking the circle, life opposing barriers brings victory. And that's the Ten of Swords. And it is about putting an end to the things that no longer, that might have worked for you, but they don't serve you. We surround ourselves with the things that we think we are supposed to surround ourselves with. Like you go to school and then you get into college and then you get the job and you get the wife and you get the house and you get the kids. Well, what if your soul wanted to be a missionary in Brazil or something like that? So it's about looking at everything and asking the questions, does this serve me or did this just work for me? And start to purge the things that don't actually line up. And the way to do that is through the Nine of Cups. It's really about feeling it out. Feeling is the language of the soul, according to Neil Donald Walsh, my favorite author, with Conversations with God. Feeling is the language of the soul. What do I really feel about this? And not get caught up with what you were taught, because the head is filled with the indoctrination and the conditioning from parents, school, and all that. And we really need to start listening to that still small voice within, which is the best guiding light. And I'll leave that with you. Andy for Ray, did you say?
Yeah.
Ray, I even remember the name. Hey, Ray.
All right, new friends coming in. You can pick a deck for 1 to 2 card pull or energy healing. So drop your name and which you would like.
All right. What's this one? We have Wiracocha, which is creator. And Wiracocha in the Peruvian tradition is not masculine or feminine. It came before such novelty. It's this androgynous energy that has the ability to harmonize any two energies perfectly every time. And the card says, where are you sourcing from, precious one? Allow Wiracocha to help you remember nothing in form has what your heart and soul truly need. The source of the sacred springs of life hovers infinitely around you, patiently waiting for you to plug into presence. You may slip and trip into thoughts of the past or fall headlong into the fear of the future. Wiracocha keeps whispering in your ear, I am love. When you are quiet, you catch it. You remember who you are, where you come from, and why you're here. So Ray, get centered for a moment. Everybody get centered for a moment. I'm going to chant one time Wiracocha and let the energy of Creator, the container that holds everything, to come through you and inspire you to become unfragmented in the past and future and be fully present in this moment and have a knowing of what is going to create the most for your soul and your path to help humanity, because we're all walking each other home. On the count of 3, I'll chant Wiracocha. Everybody ready to receive? 1, 2, 3. Wiracocha. Yarisa la cancha hanapacha, ompwi, ompwi, ompwi. And Ray, I will leave that with you. And everyone, I hope you receive that too, because all these readings are for all of y'all I hope you know that. So take what you can and apply it to your life, even if I'm not reading directly for you. Who's next?
Nanette and Grand Lux.
Another Nanette. Oh my gosh. I don't think this one was shuffled well, so I'm going to give it 2 good shuffles and then hand over. See, this is the one, for one of my readings, I do a Tree of Life reading, and all the soup cards and the major arcana are separated, and I had this one organized, but now I will have to organize it again. It's a cool reading, though, 10-card reading, which Melissa even used a little picture of it last night in one of her streams. I saw that. It was a very nice picture of my spread. My spread, I stole it from someone else, so it's not really mine either. Yeah, and that. You should carry that book, though, Kabbalistic Tarot. It's an amazing tarot book. And then people can buy it from you. First card, the Moon. So Mama Kia, the Moon. The Moon is esoterically, it actually is a card that represents menstruation, but from the point of things that you were putting energy into that did not come to fruition and birth, it's time to let go. Because those resources, until you let go of that, are just kind of stagnant, and it needs to get back into flow, back to the earth, and needing to let things go. So this is like a big emotional purging of your energy field and your physical body. A cleanse might be appropriate, but it's really time to clean house, flush out, go into nature, be by a waterfall. They teach you how to cleanse energy, so being by running water especially would be good to help facilitate that process. And what that is going to do, we have the Ace of Wands, that by purging this now, you are going to be uncovering the passion, the power, the pulse of the soul, the driving force of what is guiding you through life to do what you do. It's just that it might be hard to pick that up right now because there may be a lot of stagnation and half-completed projects. So put the things that are not going to come to fruition to rest. And to give you an idea, I had an inspiration for a book long ago, and I missed the boat on that. But I always kept thinking, oh, I need to write this book, but I couldn't because the inspiration for that moment had passed, and the book today is a different book I'm working on. So keep in mind, you might have had an inspiration. That was then. This is now. What is the energy of today? And let go of the things that are not relevant. I'll leave that with you.
Okay, I think we should do just a general energy clearing because we finally caught up in names. So we did catch up.
How many was I know? I don't need to know right now. How long have we been going? I've been going a lot faster this time.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Wow, cool. So everybody gets centered while we maybe wait for a name. We're going to go through 5 little quick energy things, tapping into the energy of the water, of black energy coming into the tailbone, coming up into the body, into the being, taking anything dense, heavy, or stagnant, and back out to the earth. Then tuning into the navel, our connection to Pachamama, Mother Earth, of red energy joining the black, going throughout your totality of being, both known and unknown, taking anything dense, heavy, or stagnant out of your body, out of your being, and deep into the earth. Turning our awareness and attention to the heart, our connection to Inti Taita, Father, Son, of gold energy coming into the heart, illuminating the totality of you where you exist, and finding any hidden shadows or pockets of dense, heavy energy, and being so powerful that it enlivens it, breaks it up, and carries it effortlessly out on the currents of the earth and the water, which are still flowing.
Ella, you let us know what deck you would like. You get 1 to 2 cards as a reading.
And then turning our awareness and attention to the throat, our connection to the celestial energies, the stars, Mama Kia, and wider the wind, a silver blue energy coming into the throat, wisping throughout your total being, and taking anything that is in your field that doesn't belong to you and effortlessly wisping it away to elsewhere in creation where it can be a service and to the light. And then finally, connecting to Wiracocha, the creator energy coming into the conscious Nawe right at the third eye. Whatever color is necessary for you, whatever medicine will help you harmonize, allowing that to come in, flow throughout your total body and being, helping to harmonize all the energies that have flowed out and all the new energies that have flowed in to help raise your vibration to be the highest octave of the being that you came to be. And thank you, Kaweki. Thank you. I love you. And what's next?
So there was a question asked of, does he do the dark side of the Tree of Life readings too?
I have that deck. I have not actively done those readings, but I have it. And if there's a good reason for someone to want one, I would consider it, but I don't do them off the cuff and not lightly.
But Ella, if you would like a 1-2 card reading, just name the deck. He's not doing specific
Types of
questions or situation. Hank, your phone just gave me the 20% battery warning.
Oh no. Got it.
You are not prepared, sir.
Well, sometimes my phone it's like at 100%, and like 10 minutes later it's at like 2. So I can't.
You have running in the background. Most welcome. So new friends joining in. Drop your name and what deck you might like for a oh, no worries, Brooke.
And
Glad you're here.
with the Dark Side of the Tree of Life, like how I talked earlier with the Angel Tarot, and it's by the same author, the Occult Tarot. It is, you have 3 angels that are assigned at birth for the 3 different things. A few people, depending on the date, might have a 4th. And there's like 1 demon. And the thing to remember with the demon, it's not, if you don't get caught up with the actual dogma of religion and things like that, it's really about like two sides of the same coin. There's like 2 things that appear in opposition, but they're really 2 sides of the same coin. And the demon energy is about like, what in this lifetime are you most looking to overcome or to love about yourself? So even though it's called dark, like dark and light are 2 sides of the same coin in hermetics. It's more about like, and that's why I say I do them lightly, because I want to make sure we would go into a reading like that with the right context of how to look at it, and not to do harm on someone that it is actually a self-development tool. So let me throw that out there too.
Okay, so Lo would like runic tarot.
I already have it in my hand because I was psychic.
Psychotic.
Maybe I just was randomly grabbing it actually, so it's kind of fun that it was runic tarot.
He meant psychotic.
Well, both. Can't you be both? Most psychic people are psychotic people. Well, what is the name again?
Lo.
Low. Low. Okay. And I'm here every Thursday at Goddess Elite. And I'm available every day. And it will be like hanksuttler.com/elite. I'm building a page where it will give you a code. Well, I'll just give you the code. If you use capital Elite, all capitals, it will take 25% off the reading if you're booking through me in Westlake, not through the store, because I charge more out of my office. And it will give you a little bit of a discount. And there I have like 21 crystal bowls and all kinds of noisemakers. So you can come see me with that.
I kicked him out of the building with all of his noisemakers.
She did. I don't know why she doesn't like me anymore.
You're so loud.
Okay, so we have the Chariot, which is it's the masculine strength. It is the necessity of, sometimes it's about intuition and figuring out how to tweak yourself to handle a situation. And other times it's about, you need a burst of momentum. You need a show of strength and power to break the inertia either out of something or through something to get onto the other side. And by doing that, it's going to give you new understandings of the situation, which we have the 3 of Wands. And that's about having a clear vision. So, what I'm seeing is it's more about you breaking through whatever barrier has been holding you back from really accessing your intuition. And part of that is you're afraid of maybe knowing what you'll know. And part of that comes with when you're developing your intuition, it's really important not to judge what is coming through, and to know that it's going to be always setting the intention to be a service and the light, and it's raw data. Don't judge what you know. And that's going to put you in a position where you can make better choices. Because if you cut off your intuition, you're making choices based on less data. You're bound to have more things show up that you don't prefer. So it's better, go ahead and know what you know. And even if it's uncomfortable, know that, well, it's uncomfortable, but now I can make a better choice now that I know this information. So breaking through that barrier of fear to really settle into your intuition and developing it, it's time. It's always been there, it feels like, but there's just been a hesitation to step fully in. So go for gusto, sign up for a big class or something that you're really going to dive in and start the process of exercising that muscle. And I'll leave that with you.
All right, Mr. Zuno, need you to name what deck you might like. So again, for the new people, you can get a 1 to 2 card reading. We need your name and which deck that you get to pick from the table. Some clarification about the website and the code. Like, what website are they going to?
My site is hanksuttler.com, hanksetala.com/elite. I don't know for sure if I actually have the landing page up yet, but I have a code on my system. If you just use the code ELITE when you're booking through me, it takes 25% off the session. There is no discount through Goddess Elite. It's already less than what I charge outside of the store. So there's no discount if you're coming on Thursdays. But on Thursdays, all you get is me in this room with a very limited setup. At my office, I have all kinds of stuff that drives Melissa absolutely crazy, which is why she hasn't visited me yet in my new space.
Yeah.
But we got gongs, didgeridoos, chimes.
If it makes noise, he has it.
I do. I just got a Riverstone xylophone.
You see how excited he is
It's
about
so
this noise?
good.
And
I
this
can't
is
wait to
why
bring
he's
it
down
in.
the road.
And I'm gonna be
He's
paying
in
for
another
Melissa. It's like a crystal glockenspiel. It's really cool.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Keep
It's
that
so
down
good.
The road. Don't bring that here.
I do. I'm gonna bring it in. Oh yes.
Mr. Zuno with like the Grand
Lux.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will do that. But readings through the store, it's 60 for a half hour, 30 for 15 minutes, or an hour. And you do not book a 1 hour reading with me. You don't need an hour. If you want a reading and healing, an hour is great, but like we don't need more than 30 minutes for sure for a reading.
Hey Setsuko, if you'd like a reading, hon, just let me know which tarot deck you might like.
Unless you're looking more for life coach, then we could probably use an hour, but just for a reading, we don't need it. What is the name of this person's?
Mr. Zuno.
Mr. Zuno. Hatan Uma, Mr. Zuno. Ompwe. 2 cards. Oh my gosh, another 2 of coins. This is like the 3rd or 4th time this has come up. So this is all about trying to juggle information to make sense of it, and you're never going to do it. It's kind of like trying to read a book in another language and you don't know the language. You have to rise above the problem and use Google Translate. So like what tools could you use, or what outside perspective could you get that's going to bring sense to the situation? Because when you're in the thick of it, you're inside the jar and you can't be outside and read the label. So you might need to solicit outside help from someone who has a different perspective that's going to be able to give you the clarity of how to navigate through a particular situation that seems frustrating or overwhelming. And the other card that's going to help with that is the Knight of Cups. This is, again, a very common card today, is about feeling your way through situations in order to make your choices. And notice that I say choices, not conclusions, not decisions. Choices bring awareness. It has more freedom to change, where if you have a decision or a conclusion, you're like really framing it that it's only this. The choice is the action you make. A decision is a judgment you make. So make choices, not decisions, and do it all through the feeling of the soul and really feeling your way through it. But get outside perspectives. I feel it's really important for you to have an outsider's point of view of whatever might be showing up in your life to get a better perspective, or a different perspective. I'll leave that with you.
All right. So again, the instructions, everybody.
Uh-oh.
Drop your name and which deck you would like. I have 4 screens. I am reading from all of the screens. I just need you to follow directions. So drop your name and which deck you would like your reading from. You get 1 to 2 cards in that reading. You can also then decide if you would prefer to have an energy clearing. Good night, Setsuko. I'm glad you jumped in, our friend from Japan.
All right. Oh, we got a celebrity reader in the back there. Hi, Greg.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. We're live streaming. You want to say hi to everybody?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, come on over. Say hi.
I'm busy, sir.
Oh, hi. Hi.
This is Greg. He's another 4th generational medium here at the store. He's an amazing
We
reader.
don't see you.
Okay.
Down
Okay.
lower.
I'm getting there.
You've gotta
I'm
get
getting there, yeah.
He's got a good
Hi.
excuse. Hi, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, good seeing you.
Yeah.
Hello there.
I haven't seen Greg in forever. This
It's
is
been
like
a long
little,
time.
little psychic reunion here.
There's
So
so
Great.
much green
Oh,
you
going
got green
on.
on. Look at this.
Look at all this green.
You got the
Hey,
memo.
happy for tomorrow.
Yeah, I got my little hat.
All right,
It's
Abdul.
how festive, hey?
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks
All
for
right, man.
yourself.
Thanks. Take care.
Hi, everybody. Greg's here also at the Psychic Fairs on the last Sunday of every month, and I forget when he's actually
On your
at-
phone? Store side.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Brooks like green. All right, Abdul, which tarot? There's the Runic Tarot, Angel Tarot, Tarot Grand Lux. I'm so glad you stopped in, Setsuko. Thank you for popping in from Japan.
Cool. I'm officially international. Anybody who's
She's
you're semi-local, if you are close to Louisville, I forget the date now. It's in August. It's a Saturday. I'm going to be teaching a sound healing and vibrational healing workshop through Fellowships of the Spirit. So you can go to fellowshipsspirit.org. The curriculum should be up soon, and you'll be able to book a class if you're interested in learning a little bit about sound healing and vibrational healing. through crystal bowls, through tuning forks, through toning. There's a lot of different ways you can use vibration.
So Grand Lux for Abdul.
Man, that's what you do. And you have to go my
Yeah, Marianne is international.
Yeah, Marianne is.
You got to get a tour bus and a tour boat.
You're gonna get one of those like little RVs you can fix up and like have it all. What is it called? Like the
You just
You
need
know
a
how they-
retrofit or hearse to be
Yes.
luxurious and just drive
That would be
around.
I forgot the name one more time. I think
Abdul.
it's Abdul. I did say that already. No, Abdul. I think it's the bottom one on the top one actually. Let's do that. So we got the tower. In the tower, the way I read that is the divine masculine at the top of the tree of life with Cater. And it is about there's two options to really become you. There's resisting it so much that the passion of the soul, like a pressure cooker, explodes out and like you have no option but to change. We call that in shamanism a pachakuti, world turned upside down. But there's also the option to intentionally do the shadow work, take the tower down intentionally, brick by brick with intention, and you can still do that quickly. But it's like you really have two choices. Would you rather wait for the pressure cooker to go, or would you like to dive in and start doing the work proactively? And the card to go along with that is the King of Wands, which is also the divine masculine. It's really time. Like the stars are aligned for you to consciously do the work and not be subject to the explosions of change. You can actually be the cause instead of at the effect. So go and be the cause of change in your life instead of the effect of change in the world. And I would read that with you.
We are caught up in names again.
And how much time do we have?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Wow. Am I going that much faster this time, or are we
Yeah,
less people?
you're keeping them short, a lot shorter than last week.
Last week I was trying to like tell you the weather and like talk to everyone and wait for interaction, and I guess we can.
Yeah, you were giving way too much for free fast card readings.
Oh,
Rein you in where you belong here.
so let's do real quick while we're waiting. This is Metatron, top of the tree of life with Cater. Here's Cater. And then we have Dot, which is a cool regulating.
So after this, Ashley would like the Grand Lux.
And then we got Sandalphon, which is at Malkut, and Malkut from the Kamala tuning forks, and the Holy Host fork, the combined frequency of all the archangels, helping to integrate all the energies given so far today in the readings.
Hi, Emma. If you'd like the reading, let us know which deck you can pick a deck from the table.
Very good. When we're both put these on, then we'll do the next one. What's the name of the person again?
Next one is Ashley with Grand Lux.
Yeah, you have to remember Ashley. Good. And most of these decks Melissa has for sale at the store too. So if you find them that you like these decks, check out goddessleep.com. You can buy them, as I did. Miss Melissa sells me many things. So I tell her all the time she's a really great seller of things. She doesn't even try to buy it. Ooh, this is one of them. The Empress, which is about intuition. And 1 foot. And we got the oh my gosh, cool. All right. So top of the tree light, we got the Hanged Man and the Tower, and that's like the divine masculine feminine. We have the High Priestess and the Hermit, which is like all the knowledge of the universe and condensing it to a point of light, and then the understanding, the inner understanding, the outer understanding of the Empress and the Emperor. You have the Hermit and the Empress, which means you're looking to, out of all the possibilities of the soul, because you're another one of the people that you have, things come easily to you, and you could pick a lot and do a lot of different things. It's like picking one thing and allowing the cream to settle to the top. Like you can still do other things, but give things enough time that they come to fruition and start actually being generated. You're taking that big ball of light and condensing it into a single point in the Hermit's lantern. It's all about following that inner intuition and not so much what's showing up out here. If you're looking out here and missing what's in here, you're not going to be picking the things that you need to pick in order to really actualize what the soul is yearning to do. And then keep in mind, it's also about octaves. So if your soul yearns to feed people, you could have a hot dog cart stand, or you could have a soup kitchen, or you could have a soup kitchen in every city in the country. It's 3 octaves, or you could be a house person just making food for your family. There's different octaves of expression for what the soul would like to experience. So pick something and then make sure you give it enough time to actually come to fruition and really be generative for your life. And I'll leave that with you.
All right. Emma,
Emma.
she hasn't told us what deck.
Naughty
Emma, are you still with us? Emma Gears on TikTok? Otherwise, we just might pick one for Emma.
Well, you can pick one if you want.
You know what? Let's do Spirit of the Animals for Emma.
Spirit of the animals. Patan uma Emma. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Yanapek. Kuma Emma. Ompui, ompui. I think it's this one. Swan again. I want to pull another one, but we're going to pull two. We'll do the Swan, which is the energy of grace and just knowing that we're all walking each other home. So have grace and compassion for your fellow travelers. And most of all, have grace and compassion for yourself. Know that you signed up for everything you're experiencing. But what I'm reading, Swan, it is you who glides across the waters of my soul. Bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And the other one to go along with that grace, because grace sometimes is one thing, but sometimes when you have too much grace, you become a doormat. And it's not about that. It's about holding the space, but still advocating for yourself, which brings us to the cougar. The cougar says assertive. In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. And even if you don't think you do, feel the fear and do it anyway, because fear is forgetting every available resource, and it's really misidentified excitement because it's feeling excited and ready to actually start stepping into the role of a leader and of a person who serves humanity in the community. And I'll leave that with you.
Hey, Courtney. Shell, go ahead and tap the screen for me, hon, while you got it on silent, if you can hear me. If you want a card pull, let me know before Hank's phone.
I pulled her cards last week,
Did
actually.
you?
Yes, I did. And they were perfect.
And why not? Thank you for all the likes. If you would like a card pull, let us know the name and which deck you'd like. Really appreciate all the likes. We're getting down to the last card pulls, guys, before we got to wrap up and get ready to open the store.
If there's no one else, we'll just do an energy clearing for the end and be on our way. I'll let you call that though when it's time.
So there's the Runic Tarot, the Spirit of the Animals Oracle, the Grand Lux Tarot, Angel Tarot, the Tarot of Magical Correspondences, and then the Andean Oracle. So Michelle just wanted to say hi. Thank you, ma'am. Put the sound on all the way down and just tap the screen for me.
Michelle, don't be in the news.
All right. And what's your name again? Why not? Your name, just first name. Okay. So Joanne would like the Angel Tarot.
Angel Tarot for Joanne. Yarihatul Uma Joanne.
Hello, good morning.
And in the book of the Angel Tarot, it goes over the information of which 3 guardian angels you were assigned at birth based on the time and date that you were born. And then we will go pick these 2 cards for Joanne. These 2, we got Hariel, the Knight of Swords, which is the confronting god, purification, protection from impious religious sentiments. It's such small writing, maybe I need glasses. And then we have the Star, which is Vasarya, I might be mispronouncing it, which is the Star Tarot, god of the just. The clemency and equilibrium protects against attacks in the courts. So let me show you that first. Now the Star it's the feminine version of the Sun in Tarot, and it is representative of the Sun being the outward expression. The Star is tapping into that little spark of divinity within. You have your Wicca Nona Cheska, your soul star of inspiration, which is reflecting deep into your seed of divine potential. So you have that little part of you that's still there with Creator, and it's up to you to harmonize and go through the shadow work that you need to do, the inner work that you need to do, to till the soil so that that star, that seed of divinity can germinate and allow it to flower out of you, to connect yourself now in the outer world to the divinity and to your star. So it's like as above, so below. But it's really important for you to germinate that seed, to till the soil, to really cultivate the environment that is going to let the uniqueness of you thrive. And part of that with the Nine of Swords is all about like making the choices, like starting to make the choices that are going to serve you. Actions are going to bring you greater awareness than just sitting there thinking about it. And with Nine of Swords, that's the thing. The thinking about things prevents the actual action of making the choices that are going to start doing that tilling. So get busy, and focus on the process, not the destination. And I'll leave that with you.
All right. Well, we got about 8 minutes before we are officially open, so maybe we'll just do a general sound clearing for everybody who joined us. And Hank is offering to do this for everybody on Thursdays at 11, sometimes a little earlier, but definitely by 11.
By 11, if not sooner. So just being centered. This process I call Mama Nuknu, which is mother's milk. So have your feet firmly planted on the floor if you can, and just have the invitation to Pachamama, our beloved Earth Mother, to give you whatever flavor milk would be the greatest contribution. Let that flow into the right foot, let it swirl throughout your body and being, and effortlessly out the left foot. Think of this as empath dialysis or energetic dialysis. Energy in from the mother, out back to the mother, taking anything dense, heavy, or stagnant out of your body, out of your being, out of any lifetime you've lived, out of every place you exist, and effortlessly back to the mother, where she can use it to cultivate blessings for the soul. As I chant Kanchai one time, bringing light in from the upper world to flush everything down for one final purge of hucha and heaviness back to the earth. And the count of 3, Kanchai, and just receive it from the upper world. 1, 2, 3. Kanchai. Yari, Mamanoglu Pachamama, Nike, 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 Yari, Sawakacha Harakacha, Nike, 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 Warakocha, a Nike, 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 Yari, Wilka Katarikuna, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike, Arpichai Sakolai. That last part means victory and praises to all of your unique voices in this world. A dove from my heart to you. Thank you. I love you. And until next week, we will see you next time.
Yes, you can go to the goddesselite.com website, go to the Reader Healer page, and book with Hank. He's here on Thursdays, so you can come in person. If you are not local, you can also still schedule and have it done via Zoom.
Yeah.
And once Hank has his links and website ready.
Yeah. But if you do go to my site, use the code ELITE now to book through my office, and you'll get, because I charge more out of my office, you'll get a little bit of a discount being that you're a Goddess Elite referral. And I'll be happy to work with all of you and make a lot of noise. And you can tell Melissa how awesome it is and that I should do it at her store and drive her crazy.
No.
Yes.
No.
Do it. Do it.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next Thursday.
And happy pre-St. Patrick's Day. Everyone.
Yes. Join us next time.
Bye. And I'll just play a little tonage while she turns off all the strings.
All the